After I got it cut out, I laid my scoop back in here upside down and pushed it all the way to the front of the hood. So when it's finished, there's going to be about a 5/8 gap right here. So I know that I'm far enough forward. And then what I did was, I don't know if I can get that picture or not. If you can see, right here is where the two pieces intersect. So I just put a mark right there, so I know that from that point back I got to keep it as low as I can, but that point forward I've got room there that I can, you know, I can go up and match what's there and it won't hurt nothing. So put my mark there. Now pull that back out. Okay, there's my mark. So I know everything from this part forward, I've got room. So I could fill that in like that. Everything from this part forward, I need to keep this whole area low. So I'm going to make a piece that gets bent somewhere in this area right here. So I'm gonna go down and up, and I'll show you once I get that pattern kind of figured out. I'll show you what I'm going to do there. So I got some more poster board, and I laid a piece down on the bottom here, and you can see my blue mark. I traced it. I just laid my pencil in here vertically and traced that area down there. Then I cut another piece and laid it in vertically. And so now I've got it marked. I got both pieces marked. As you can see, I used magnets to hold my poster board in place. So I'll pull my magnets off, cut those pieces, and mock up what I want to do there. So I just roughly marked it, and I'm going to cut it a little bigger than what I need to start with. Always cut it off later. So I usually will mark left and right. So this is the passenger side here. And this is the driver's side. So I usually mark that just to make it easier once I start cutting all my pieces, or get down to my line. Sometimes it's hard to figure it. You got to flip it back and forth, so that just saves you some time. So there we have that, and what I'll do is show you another little tip that I take little scraps of sheet metal that I've cut off, and you know, they don't have to be straight or nothing, just little thin pieces like that. Those work great to that'll help you shape your poster board. So I take masking tape and I lay that on top my poster board like that, and I just tape it in place. Probably wouldn't have had to do it on this part, but I thought it might be a good way of showing you how I do that. Tape it on there good, a couple strips. Other side. Okay, so when you tape that on to your poster board, that will give you something to bend your poster board with. It'll hold the shape. See how nice that works? I use that little trick, tip, whatever you want to call it, a lot when I'm making my patterns. As you can see, you can shape that just about any shape you want. So I get it close to where I want it. So I could have ran it out a little bit farther. Would have helped me out on this part. Like that. And see, that holds that in shape. So what I'm going to do is pull this piece out. Get it out of there. I'm going to cut that with my mark. So now if I wanted to, I could tape those two pieces together and put that down in there and see how it fits. I don't need to do that because I'm confident that I can make that work. So I'm going to take this piece, cut me a piece of sheet metal, and then I'll take this one as well and cut another piece of sheet metal, and then I'll put these two pieces together and then set them down in there to where they fit, and then I'll trim the top off here and weld around that perimeter, and that should be done. I'll show you how I do that. Got my patterns cut, and then on this back one I decided that instead of making this flat all the way across the bottom, I didn't want a 90-degree here. So after I cut that piece, I broke it. I put about just a 30-degree angle or something on there, and so now that piece will set in here. I got a little block of wood just to keep it elevated. I don't want it touching the bottom panel or the hood. When I get done, I'll spray all that inside there with primer before I weld this in place. But so after I broke my piece, I put it in, and then I took my pattern that I had, the metal in there, and I laid it down and marked it, and so I got that cut, and then I transferred that onto this piece. So this piece is roughly shaped to fit in there, and then I'll trim it to fit this when I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these two pieces out, and then I've got a center mark there. And what I'll do is I'll weld that seam. I'll actually weld the back, and then once that's done, I'll set it in there and finish it up. I think that shape ought ought to look pretty decent in here. So I'll weld that and show you what it looks like in a little bit. And I just tacked them together on the back. Now that's set in, that's one piece now. I'll finish welding it, and then I'll fit it. I'll start trimming this edge up and get it fit in there and weld it in. So I'll be back. That'll be good. That'll hold it in place. Welding the back makes it easier to clean this up on the inside there. That's an inside corner. So I try to weld as much on back sides as I can. So I'll clean that up with the grinder. Okay, so that's cleaned up. Just a small bead of seam sealer will take care of that. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish trimming this up and lay it in place and mark it around here and get my clean that up a little bit on both sides there, and then get it to slide back in there. So I'll work on that and I'll be back.